C. Hendrickson. News Talk 95.3. Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather station.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. People always ask why I go round and round with Dale. Dale entertains me. And Dale only calls after long periods of pause when he has been proven wrong, as he was with the election. So he didn't call me for a long time. I kept asking Tim, I was like, is Dale calling? And he's like, no. And I'm like, man, I'm kind of bummed. I was hoping he would call right away so I could rub it in his face. But, he knew to stay away. But he's entertaining. We like Dale. He makes me smile. 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595953. So let me give you an example of how stupid society is, okay? And maybe stupid isn't the right way, but you are stupid. Not you specifically, but like society, us, we're idiocracy. Like that's totally happening. But ignorance and the way that there is ignorance in the media and the way that there is ignorance in the population for reading nonsense. Let me give you a perfect example of this. First of all, BuzzFeed's not news. Stop reading BuzzFeed unless you're taking a survey or a poll to find out which color unicorn you are, because that's about as good as that's about the only thing they're good for. So BuzzFeed, they had the Trump dossier. The Trump dossier, which was, of course, commissioned by crazy people who hated Trump, Republican and Democrat, and wanted to defeat Trump. And then this foreign former spy, goes ahead and puts this dossier together, has admitted that I can't corroborate anything in the dossier because he made it up. It's garbage. I'm sorry to tell you, as much as I want it to be true, Donald Trump didn't get a hotel in Russia that the Obama stayed in and then hired people to urinate on it. I wish it were true, because that would be a heck of a story, but it is not true. So BuzzFeed's Trump dossier story, remember, BuzzFeed did this, and then CNN went with it, and then after it was proven to be a complete and utter hoax, CNN turned on BuzzFeed and started attacking BuzzFeed like, you guys are spreading fake news. I'm like, yeah, like CNN didn't spread the fake news themselves. The most viewed story on Facebook in the past year was the dossier. So let me say this again. People, again, getting their news on social media, and we keep telling you this is bad, this is bad, 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 bad. There are sources that have pages like mine that you can go to for real news, but in general, you do not want your news coming from social media, especially stuff that's being shared by your friends. You remember the whole reason that Snopes.com exists is people were sending these chain emails, right? And these chain emails were like, telling you, Obama's not only not an American, he was actually born on Pluto. He crash landed here 150 years ago. He single-handedly caused World War I, and his hair color is pink. So like these chain emails, they used to go around all the time. And Snopes.com was founded to debunk that stuff. And that's when they were good. And now, of course, they've just morphed into some other nonsense. But that was the whole point of Snopes.com, was to go through these chain emails that everybody was spreading around. Perfect example of that, one of those things is Facebook is going to go to a monetized system, and they're going to start charging membership fees next week. And this goes around, how many times a year does that go around, Tim? 3-4 times a year? It's like a quarterly thing where this gets spread around that Facebook is going to become a paid service and start charging you membership fees. And it fools people every time. And I had a listener yesterday go, Casey, is this true? I'm like, no, it's not true. But it happens on a routine basis. So it used to be emails. That now happens on social media. And just like with those old emails on social media, a lot of times that is an intentional prank on people to see how many people they can get to spread this nonsense. And so what ends up happening is you go on social media, your friend sees this, and it spreads and it spreads and it spreads and it spreads. Sometimes there's a little virus, if you will, that you click on a link and then it auto-populates onto your page and sends it to everybody else, and you didn't mean to do it. And so it gets kind of spread that way. But it used to be emails. Now it's social media. So you should never trust social media for this stuff. So the most read story on Facebook, the most visited social media platform in the world, the one where admittedly most people get their news now, the most viewed story was BuzzFeed's bull garbage Trump dossier story. So the thing that was read by more people than any other news story at all last year was that Trump hired prostitutes to pee on a bed. That, just so you know, that's the extent of how silly we have become as a society. Well, that and CNN and everybody else reporting that Donald Trump gets 2 scoops of ice cream while everybody else at the White House only gets 1. That was a real story that they ran with for not 1, 2 days. Two days. I don't even know what flavor it was. Like, tell me the flavors. That's what I'm more concerned about. Did he get 2 good flavors? Were they complimenting flavors? Were they flavors that would frankly get him thrown out of office if they're, horrible stuff? But Trump gets two scoops of ice cream. Everybody else gets 1. That was the story. So journalists with vastly different political leanings criticized the media outlet for publishing the unsubstantiated 35-page memo, noting the allegations are unverified and the report contains errors. CNN originally posted a heavily hedged report on the refuted memo, but only incorporated an excerpt from the documents. Coming in second place behind BuzzFeed and CNN's dubious dossier report are multiple Trump-Russia articles published in a 4-day span in early May, according to an Axios analysis of social flow data. Such highly read stories include Trump's alleged leak of confidential information to Russian diplomats and a purported memo from Trump telling then FBI Director James Comey to let go of the investigation against former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. So the 3 biggest stories, on Facebook in the past year are one that was fabricated and was a hoax. The other one is again fake news because he didn't give up any classified information, and we have multiple people who've now come forward and said he didn't give the Russians any classified information. Putin's offered the transcript, for crying out loud. And then the third one was a story about a memo that literally nobody has seen and can verify what the memo says. So on Facebook, the most popular social media network, a place where the vast majority of certain young people get their news, the 3 biggest stories read in the past 12 months are all fake news. And all of those little people are running around, changing their name to Dale and calling me in the middle of a Thursday afternoon. That's what's going on. If you need a better example of what's wrong with the way that people handle their news and ingest their media, boom, that's it right there. The most popular stories, the 3 most popular stories on social media that more people have read than any other are all fake news. Go figure. No wonder we're all messed up.